I'm in one of my favorite places in Alaska, a little bridge over a marsh where there's like tons of dragonflies hovering right now, like little helicopters. I just finished filming a butterfly that landed on my foot right after I saw a mama bear and 3 baby cubs run across the trail, which is the first time I've ever not been in a car and actually seen bears, which, you know, you hear a lot of horror stories, so can be kind of scary, but they didn't even look at me. And I didn't have time to catch them on film. Oh well. But earlier on my trail, I had this feeling that there was a bear around, and I just, you know, in my mind I made myself safe. I just asked for safety, protection. You can sense things when you're tuned in. You can sense different energies. It's like all of a sudden I felt this presence, even though I couldn't see anything. I was like, I just knew there was a bear. And I was like, uh-oh, is this gonna be the day that I come face to face with a bear and I have to find out what happens? Sure enough, a few minutes later, they didn't even look at me. They were basically running diagonally across the trail that I was walking in the opposite direction, so they never saw me. Hopefully you're picking up my voice because it's a little windy out here. I wish you could see all the dragonflies. There's one like 5 feet from me right there. And out in front of me I could just see like tons of them. I was going to talk about manifesting today, and it's not a very hard thing to do because you're manifesting all the time. What's difficult about manifesting what you want is changing your thoughts and changing your belief system, because really what's keeping you from having everything you want is nothing but what you're thinking. And since our thoughts are most often consumed by stressful things and worry, those are the things we keep perpetually manifesting. I find it much easier to manifest things than the money to buy things. So I end up knowing that about myself, instead of trying to focus on the money that's going to get me the thing that I want, just focus on the thing and don't worry about where it's going to come from, because the universe has more tools at its, when the word won't come, disposal. The universe has so many tools at its disposal that you are not even smart enough to think of, that you just get in the way by thinking you need the money to get the thing that you want. And the biggest problem for me, I often end up feeling like a failure because of not having money when I'm actually a very successful manifester. The problem for me is that I realize money isn't real. It's just pretend. It's totally make-believe. So I have a hard time putting any faith in the idea of having it in any kind of quantity, because it's an illusion. I mean, everything is an illusion, but once you focus on the actual thing that you're trying to manifest, gosh, I just wish there were, dragonflies around, then you'll just have dragonflies around. Or if you just wish you had a nice backyard to sit in, you don't have to imagine yourself getting the job that it takes to get the money to get the house that has the backyard that you want. Just visualize yourself in the backyard. Okay, so the powerful, I think, qualities, quantifiers, what am I trying to say? What quantifies manifesting quickly is a strong belief, a faith that it's already in the present tense, because the now is where the power is, and also a high positive vibration. So your emotions are really powerful. And I feel like I'm struggling to get out what I'm trying to say today, so I do apologize. But you're endowed with this incredible power. And emotions are basically your cue for recognizing that power. So when you're in an out of power situation, you're in negative emotion. And when you're in a powerful manifesting state, you're in positive emotion. And when I say negative and positive, I don't mean good and bad. I mean more like, here's 0, here's plus, and here's minus. So when you're in the negative, your power is low. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not good or bad. It's just under the 0 line, the mark. You know what I mean, or you don't, doesn't matter. And when you amplify your emotional state into a positive vibration while you're visualizing that you have what you want in the now moment, that's where your power is. That's where your creative force lies. So most people sit around and feel powerless because they're thinking stressful thoughts. The thoughts aren't really even real. They're not anywhere near what you're trying to have for yourself. But it's basically an experience there's not necessarily anything wrong with this experience. It's showing you what you want to have so that you can start to use your creative power to get it. Some people might spend their whole life just experiencing the lack of what they want and never learning how to create what they do want. That's fine. Maybe that's what they came to Earth to experience. But if you want to experience the creative power that you are, then you take this feeling of negativity and first of all, don't fight it, but do allow it to run through you while you're noticing that none of those negative thoughts that are happening are you. They're not who you are. They're just ideas, and the thoughts that you're having are what's creating your experience. God, I can count like 30 dragonflies just like 50 feet from here. It's crazy. Like, I've never seen so many. Sorry. Everyone makes fun of me for going off on tangents, but I mean, come on. When you're manifesting what you want, it's magical. So if you're sitting in a room that you don't even enjoy, what you want to be experiencing is being surrounded by so many dragonflies, it blows your mind. Well, maybe step 1 is to go outside, you know? Just do the next most logical thing. And this is just one example. it works for anything. It works for everything. So maybe you're not having any luck creating the job that you think is going to get you what you want. So why don't you just focus on the thing that you actually want and put a positive vibration in there with it, with a belief that it's happening, that it's already in motion, and that it's going to be your experience, because that is the creative power that you have. That's the choice that you've made. And here come the dogs. And so I'll leave you with these thoughts that you are the most powerful thing in this universe. Just remember.